You can listen to this practice wherever you find yourself today. You can be sitting down or laying down or even stretching and doing things if that's what you got to do. And hopefully, wherever you're at when you listen, this will still be helpful to you in some way. And so, if you would like to listen in a still position, just feel free to take all the time that you need to arrive there. And allow yourself to fidget or to adjust or stretch or move in whatever ways your body wants to move. Just trusting your natural instincts of movement, not worrying at all about what it looks like, but just coming into your sense of feeling and following those yummy sensations that you might feel when you do some side body bends or torso twists or a big morning stretch with the arms overhead. Maybe some neck rolls, shoulder rolls, just any movement at all that feels good in the body. And if what feels best in the body at any time is stillness, then honoring that need for stillness whenever that feels like what you need. And there's also no rush whatsoever. You can continue to move and stretch your body or move in whatever ways you want to throughout this practice, whenever you feel the need to. But if you would like to listen in a still position, and then you may make your way there if you haven't already. Just feeling that the spine is nice and straight in whatever position you've chosen. And if you're in a space where you feel safe and would like to, at any time, you can allow the eyes to gently close if they aren't already. As you now mark your arrival into your practice today, into your body today, with a full, intentional, cleansing breath. Just calling in fresh, new air into the body as you slowly fill up to every corner and edge of you, getting as full as you can get. As you pause for a moment once you're full to experience that sense of fullness. And as you need to, slowly letting it all go. Exhaling bit by bit. As you gently pull the navel toward the spine at the bottom of your exhale to really push any last bits of stagnant air out of you. As you again pause for a moment here and now experience the sense of emptiness, allowing your next breath to come to you as it's needed. And so you can continue to breathe just like this for as many rounds as feels good and helpful to you. But not worrying about the actual length of your inhales, exhales, and pauses on either side, but just letting each of the 4 parts of your breath be exaggerated, whatever that means for you today. Because this will be different every time that we show up for our practice. So when the body would naturally stop inhaling, seeing if you can expand your belly just a little bit more to take in one more moment's worth of air, exaggerate your inhale. And when you would naturally exhale, just seeing if you can hold off on that for one extra moment. And then as you exhale, even once you think you're empty, seeing if you can get even more empty and pause and stay in that emptiness for one extra moment than you would normally. You can continue to breathe in this slow, intentional, exaggerated way for as long as it feels good and helpful to you. But at any point, if you haven't already, you can release this guidance over your breath altogether. And allow yourself to step almost back and up in the mind and into the role of the observer or the witness. As you remember that our breath is our one bodily function that can be either voluntary or automatic. And so letting go of that voluntary guidance we just had over the breath, as you now simply observe the automatic process that is your body breathing you. In the same way that your heart beats for you and every organ in your body works for you, your body also breathes for you, even when you're in a deep state of sleep. And so just seeing if even for a moment you can watch your body breathe you without having any impact over the rhythm or depth of the breath. Watching each breath as it comes and goes with that same energy that you might feel when you lay on the beach and just watch the waves as they roll up along the shoreline. Not trying to change anything about the size or speed of the waves, but simply watching as each one comes and goes. As you now let some of your awareness come to your face. And even with the eyes closed, just noticing any areas where there might be tension gathering in the face. Any resting expression on the face. And any emotions that could be communicated by this expression on your face. Maybe the brow is furrowed, or the jaws tense, or the nostrils flared, or even the chin or ears could hold some tension. And just allowing your awareness of these areas of extra tension or holding be all that you need to instead allow these areas to soften and release. Maybe even opening and closing the mouth a few times before finding that place where your jaw just hangs into place. And your tongue releases from the roof of the mouth. As your lips rest softly on one another. And you allow that sense of release in your mouth to naturally allow your chin to soften a bit deeper, the nostrils as well. Feeling it naturally spread outward and upward as your cheeks relax a bit deeper. The ears, the eyelids, and the eyebrows. Even feeling your hairline soften back a bit. So you feel that your forehead is wide and deep. And almost feeling this sense that all of the muscles in the face are just ungripping from the bones and releasing back into the support of your skin. Remembering that you can trust your own anatomy and that there is safety included in this body, in this anatomy, in this world, on this earth. And just trusting that when you let go and allow yourself to be soft, everything is held exactly where it needs to be. With the safety of your skin holding everything intact and the force of gravity all around you and the earth beneath you. These are all things that are always here, keeping you safe. When you let go, you'll never be crushed and you won't float away. But gravity and the earth and your body will hold everything exactly where it needs to be. And so even if it's just for a moment, allowing yourself to feel that deep sense of safety. Even if there are many, many layers of fear and doubt stacked on top of that core sense of safety. Remembering that it is still there beneath all of everything else. And you can let some attention come to rest on your heart now. As you gradually let more and more of your awareness rest on your heart and the rhythm of your own beating heart. Maybe even placing one or both hands on top of the heart to encourage that feeling from the outside as well, if that feels right. We're just feeling this rhythm that is your own rhythm, the steady background beat to every single moment of your life. From before you were even breathing air, from the time you're in your mother's womb up to this exact moment, this heart has been pumping life into you, beat by beat. This heart has been your constant, your steady source of life. And even if there has been disease or illness in the heart, or if you've experienced pain in your heart has worked hard enough to keep you alive up to this point. And this heart will continue to work for you for as long as you are in this body. And just remembering how this heart is your own personal and direct line of connection to whatever source or force allows all of our hearts to beat. Whatever source or force all of energy comes from, all of life comes from. Since you are alive, you are directly connected to the source of all life. And there's absolutely nothing you or anyone can do that will take that connection away. You are energy, and energy cannot be created or destroyed. And energy will always be connected to the source of all energy. And so you do not need anyone else to facilitate that connection for you. You do not need to outsource your connection to whatever higher powers you believe in. But you can access those higher places through your own body, through your own heart, and through the world around you, through witnessing this wild creation that we are all living in. By remembering that we are connected to all of nature. We are a part of this world as well. And the one thing that we can all count on in this life is that everything will change. And everything is constantly changing. While at the same time, on some level, everything remains the same. And holding space for both of these things to be true, since they are. There is a steadiness and a oneness that comes in this life. The constant of the sun. It is always shining, even behind clouds, even at night. It is constantly shining bright and giving off warmth and life. But the way that we see the sun is always changing. Sometimes we can't see it at all, and sometimes it's shining directly in our eyes. And we are not meant to escape the cycles of change or break free from going through phases and be happy and feel amazing and motivated and awesome all the time. But we are simply meant to experience life, experience our own life that we have been given. Each of us have a unique body, a unique life, unique experiences, a unique perception. Each and every one of us takes in the world in a different way, is received by the world in a different way. And all of these things contribute to who you are and how you might be feeling and doing. And so if you are in a phase right now that is dark and heavy and doesn't feel good, just know that that is not a reflection on who you are or anything bad that you've done or any punishment. It simply means that you're human and a part of life, and you're moving through a darker phase. And you can allow yourself to comfort yourself in your darkness, to do whatever it is that brings you a sense of peace and lets your body exhale a bit deeper. You're allowed to rest and take more time to recharge if that's what you need to do. And you're also allowed to make the most of all the good stuff you're feeling. If you're in a really happy, motivated, and exciting phase of life, make the most of it. You do not need to feel guilty for feeling good when you know that so many are hurting. But you can instead use all of that good that you feel to shine, just like the sun, just shine for all of the others who are hurting. And know that there will come a time in the future where you will be more in a darker phase. And maybe some people that you shone light to when they were in darkness will be in a brighter phase. And maybe they can return the, I don't want to say favor, but the gesture will shine that light back to you. Just as a reminder that you were once whole and bright and happy, and you will be again. But we are not meant to feel that way all of the time. And if we did feel good and happy all of the time, we wouldn't feel anything. Because the only thing that we're feeling when we feel that happiness and motivation and connection is the distance from the opposite feeling. If we were to feel one way all of the time, it wouldn't be exciting or different. It would just be how it is. It would just be normal. It would be mundane. And so we can learn to appreciate our lows just as much as we appreciate our highs, because our highs would not exist without the lows. And a lot of times when we're moving through difficult transitions in life, or when there's a big wave of change coming our way and we see it coming, we see it building up. I imagine being in the ocean, and as you see a big wave swelling up, and maybe it's starting to scare you because it's getting a little too big for your comfort level. So maybe you stand there in front of the wave and you put your hands up and you try to stop the wave. You say, no, I don't want this wave to crash on me. No. And you try to stand strong, hold out your hands, and try to will the wave to not crash. But what will happen if you do that is the wave will crash directly in your face, and it will knock you over backwards, and you will hit your head on the ocean floor and get spun around a bunch of times before coming up for air and being all disoriented and, after being tossed around a bit. But you also have the option to see that wave swelling and coming up and turning around and riding with it, lining yourself up so that the wave pushes you forward in the direction of the shore. Or you also have the option, if you don't have the energy or resources to deal with even riding a wave, you have the option to dive underneath it and just wait for the next one, to wait this one out. And a lot of our life changes can be looked at in a very similar way, where when we try to stop them from happening, it will probably make it harder for us. But if we can ride with it and go along with it, it can propel us forward to places we never even dreamed we could be. Or we can take a little more time for ourselves and rest longer if that's what we need to do. And so you can continue to feel whatever it is that you are feeling right now, and continue to soften your body and keep scanning your body, noticing where the tension tends to creep back in and allowing those areas to soften whenever you notice the tension has come back. As you allow yourself to listen to the following words that are written by young Pueblo in his book called The Way Forward. But you can allow anything that feels like it resonates with you to soak in a little deeper and not worrying about the rest. It is possible to live with kindness and compassion toward yourself and others, while also creating healthy boundaries or defending yourself when it is actually necessary. You can be gentle with the world and also protect your own flourishing. Instead of resorting to survival mode when life gets hard, reclaim your power by taking time to respond skillfully. Some friends deserve a whole chapter in the story of your life. Things wouldn't be as good had they not been around to support you through unbearable storms and tell you those few hard truths that encouraged your evolution. Their essential light helped you discover your own. If you really want to rebel in a narrow-minded and egocentric society, be more loving. Care more widely and vocally. Boldly live from your heart. Give without fear. Find joy in being selfless. Share your talents. And live without needing permission. Build inner peace or fall to outer chaos. Being flexible does not mean giving up. Appreciate the closest friends in your life. And challenging times do not last forever. Down moments will try to make you forget how much you've actually accomplished. You have overcome too much to let heavy emotions confuse you. Stop listening to the noise and ground yourself in the fact that storms do not last forever. Every storm runs out of rain. And then I'm going to read one poem written by myself, and it's not titled, so Everything happens exactly as it should, with or without our acknowledgement of that fact. We don't need to watch flowers for them to bloom. They just do. Flowers don't compare themselves with other flowers. They don't race against time. They don't acknowledge time. But flowers bloom when they are ready, when the conditions are just right. We are flowers, and we are always somewhere on the spectrum of blooming at exactly the pace we should be. Everything is going exactly as planned, so trust and bloom. I lied. I'm going to read one more of my poems. This is a section of it. Every day I'm getting better and better, and every day growing closer to the light. I act as a plant and grow in the direction of the sun. I grow toward the light when it's shining and hide my head to recharge when it's not. I remember yoga. I remember connection. I remember that the impossible is so very possible, and that all that is needed is to feel. It sounds easy, but it can be the hardest thing to do. To feel. To really feel feelings. Instead of pushing them down or away or out, but sit with them inside. The pain and hurt just sitting inside and not doing anything but looking at them. Square in the face, right between the eyes. Why do you hurt? Where did you come from? How can I help you move on from this body? And most of the time, they just want attention. A bunch of nagging little kids inside of you, screaming for you to notice them. The more you ignore, the louder they get. But look at them for a few minutes, and they can settle right down. Sometimes they require an action you never thought of. And sometimes they require more sleep and less noise, or more tea and less booze. But whatever each nagging child in you requires, listen. Listen to what they need and make a conscious decision. Don't ignore a feeling for fear of the action required. You may feel comfort in the mere acknowledgement of the feeling. You may make note of an action you may have to perform in the future, but not in the here and now. And isn't that wonderful? Knowing something will happen eventually, and all that is required from you is to wait. All you have control over right now is being present right now. No matter what feelings are inside of you, pain, joy, grief, etc., you have the power to sit with the feelings. You have the power to let the world work around you. And you have the power to let go of your power. And watch as you let go. Watch as things mysteriously fall into place, exactly as it should, without any help from you. We have little to no control over our destiny, but we have total control on staying present to watch our destiny unfold. Just take the next few moments to allow each and every word that you've heard today and each and every feeling that you felt today to settle. As if your body is this big snow globe, and every word and feeling was a little speck of glitter floating around in the snow globe. And you can let now be the time where we set you down and the glitter settles and the air clears. And just trust that anything at all that you heard today that resonated with you or struck a chord with you in some way, just trusting that that feeling sometimes comes when we hear on the outside what a part of ourselves already knows to be true on the inside. And so just allowing those deep inner truths to be enhanced within you so that you feel a little bit more confidence to act on your own intuition. Just building that trust with yourself and your own instincts and your own intuition. Remembering that there is nobody else out there who knows you better than you. And this is a great power that comes included in this life. And so you never have to give that power away to anyone else. If anyone ever tries to convince you that they know you better than you, or they know what's best for you, and it goes against what you feel on the inside, you have total permission to never give that power away. And you also have total permission to reclaim that power if you have given it away in the past. You can reclaim it at any time you are ready and have that strength and trust with yourself. Because then you will be unstoppable. So if it feels like something you'd like to do today, you can just let your hands find each other in a prayer position toward heart center. As you just feel this contact of your palms and fingers to one another, as you press your thumbs toward your heart, as your heart lifts back toward your thumbs. As you just feel all of this power that's generated through you. And you can take one final deep and full breath into the body, filling up the most you have today. And as you exhale, letting go of anything you're ready to let go of as you allow the head to gently bow. As you take this moment to bow to the source of energy that allows all of our hearts to beat, whatever you believe that to be. And bowing to everyone else in this space who has listened and completed this practice right alongside you. And finally, bowing to yourself for choosing to show up today and taking the time out of your busy life for this pure act of self-love and self-care. And may this act continue to heal you through the rest of your days and nights. And may you bring the same love and understanding to everything you do and to everyone that you see. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.